Juan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you. I'm so excited to have you share your film, and I'm so excited that that it's a film about veterans made by a veteran. As I mentioned on the phone, thank you for your service. And yeah, I just want to hear a little bit about your story, about your military service, and how it led to make this movie.
Sure. As we were talking before, I graduated from high school in 1988, and then I went immediately into the army. I was stationed in Germany for most of my tour, and we were deployed to the first Gulf War in 1991. And after the war, I extended my tour in Germany and got out 6 months early, well, 4 months early to be able to start college on time. And then I attended the University of Miami, studied cinematography, video film production, and at the same time, I was also in the Florida National Guard.
So you went to film school at UM, and just tell me a little bit about like what your career was after UM, and how you've like made this transition into directing.
Sure. After graduation, obviously, trying to find a job in production was an interesting path. I started doing Spanish cable. I worked in a startup network called Casa Club TV, which was a lot of things for the house and home goods and health and cooking and fashion and all those things. From there, I made some connections, and I worked in a independent film, and then I did a soap opera called Miami Sands, and from there, I kind of started working in commercials here locally in Miami. And from there, as a production assistant, I kind of started seeing which departments appeal to me. In film school, I enjoyed doing everything. We were shooting film, we were cutting film, editing on flatbeds, and I did sound, everything, as student films go.
Hmm.
And then I kind of started finding my niche, the path that I really wanted to do. And I think directing kind of embodies that. But the path that I took into directing obviously went through like the assistant director route. So I was a PA, I was a key set PA. I've done second AD, second AD, first AD, and now I'm a DGA first AD, obviously. And that's how I make my living. And now I'm starting to direct my own little projects. So that's where I'm at.
That's so cool. And I think that, one of the reasons Javier and I started our organization, Voices Beyond Borders, and started this festival is to connect people here in Miami. I mean, from your experience, you are embedded completely into the Miami filmmaking scene. And I think that, I know that we have at least one current UM master student whose movie is also going to be in the festival, and I'm sure like for her, like getting to know you at the festival is going to be really great. And for a lot of people that, that as we're trying to build that Miami community, that's super cool. So tell me about how you developed this script for True Valor. And then, yeah, and then I want to talk a little bit about like a little bit about your production and kind of where you shot it, etc.
Sure. So True Valor was it was a brainchild of just these random ideas that kind of just kept popping back into my brain about a particular veterans issue, and I don't know how much I want to say, so it won't be like a spoiler for those that haven't seen the film yet.
Mm.
Um, but veterans deal with a lot of issues, and we all know about PTSD, homelessness, just trying to um, readjust to civilian life. I mean, the government spends an insane amount of money and time training civilians to become soldiers. And then I feel like there's not that much training, or at least there wasn't that much training when I left, to transition back into civilians. So you're dealing with, you know, men and women who, they did at least 2 years or 4 years, and then they get out, or some that do, 18, 20, and they retire, who, the 22-year-old ones, or, 23, whatever, they come from a place where they're handling multi-million dollar equipment, weapons that can, make to destroy, and they're put in such positions for responsibility and accountability that when they come into the real world, sometimes they can't adjust to not being trusted, not being given those opportunities, and they don't feel like they can adjust. And that's, one of the millions of issues that they deal with. I'm fortunate. I think I consider myself to be pretty stable for the most part. But I see through this film, I wanted to kind of touch on one subject, which is not like a uh, life like a huge life issue, but it's important to veterans. It's something that deals with a certain. I really don't want to spoil it because it's just it's a very specific issue.
Hmm.
We changed the original name obviously because that was a major giveaway, and so I wrote the script about 10 years ago, or maybe a little more, just the first, and I consider myself a terrible screenwriter. Um, so I just kind of spit the idea out on paper, and then I put it aside, and then I come back and revisit it and start to organize it and then put it aside again. And I'm not very structured or disciplined as far as the writing goes. But I write kind of what I see in my mind. And I had the great opportunity to put this together, um, and I've worked with a lot of the people that are working on my film on their film. So my DP, for example, I've done two of his films, and I've been his AD, and I, broken down the script, and I run the set for him. And he's a great director. I think both of his films made it to the Miami Film Festival last year, or on when they were done, and there was a lot of for the love of the art kind of approach to this. A lot of people, most of them work for free. We have to, pay some money here and there, but it's expensive. It's expensive to make a film, and that's a challenge, because I wanted to make a really, really good film and not just be able to film something and say, I did it. So I wasn't going to be happy with something that wasn't acted well, or was edited poorly, or I wasn't ready to direct it. So it took kind of that time to from writing to final production to get it done. And I have like four other scripts that I've already written, and we're already selected one that we're hoping to produce for next summer, and start that planning process. So it's kind of like uh, I got the itch and the bug, and now you have to scratch it, and you have to keep going. So we're trying to raise funds for that, and hopefully we'll make this happen in 6 months or so.
Is the next one a short as well? Does it deal with the same subject matters?
No, different subject matter. It's a little bit longer. I think right now we're at 32 pages, 33 pages. It might end up being a little longer than that, just because of the format that we're gonna use to write it and then shoot it. But the linear story is already done,
Hmm.
uh, and my one of my partners that I write, and he kind of tell me this is no good, this is crap, let me rewrite this for you. He's addressing those issues right now, so that's where we're at right now.
You can tell that you took, like you said, you took your time, and just from the way you shot it to the performances, it felt like it had a lot of care, and that's why we're like we really wanted to screen your movie.
I
Um,
was I was very
God,
fortunate to get uh, a very understanding and adaptable cast, because of the subject matter. Initially there was a lot of over, taking the roles a little bit higher than what they needed to be, and it's the subtleties that happen are sometimes unperceived to somebody who doesn't, understand or doesn't see it, or is not in a place where they could recognize it. So it was a lot of just kind of bringing the performances and making them just really kind of be natural, and and when they see the film, there's a certain moment where one of our main character, he kind of switches, um, his attitude, to say that. So
mhm,
I'm glad you enjoy that.
definitely. I'm so looking forward to meeting you in person. I know that your experience here in Miami is gonna just something that people are going to want to meet you. People are going to want to talk to you. So we're so excited to hang out all together in January and share your movie. And hopefully, maybe you meet someone at the festival that helps you either fundraise on the next movie, etc. Like, that's why we're doing this, to connect people and see how we kind of help each other out here in Miami.
That'd be great. I mean, looking forward to it. It's a weird situation to be in the whole film festival circuit now. That once we, the anticipation and the anxiety of producing it, and then just having such a great time on set, for the 3 days that we shot it. And I was, incredibly fortunate to have all the post production done by this amazing post house in Chicago called Cutters. And another country and flavor that did all of the editing, all the color correction, all of the sound design. And my post-production producer, he kind of handled that. And anybody who's worked in the film industry knows that, you have three things you can get it, cheap, right, or fast, and you can only pick two. So we were definitely going for right and cheap. So however long it took them to get them, we were like no hurry to pressure them to get us a cut or, make changes. And we were lucky that they were super into the project. They were very involved, and another festival asked me to send them a trailer, and I contacted my producer, my post-production producer, and I say, hey, listen, they're asking me for this. Is there any way? And it's like, well, I don't know. They've been doing this, for such a, almost nothing, which it really is nothing. But then the assistant editor is like, yeah, let me know. But, this gives them a chance to do something creative on their own. And like literally the next day I had a trailer and I was like that, just blown away by it. So it really was a huge, huge collaboration from all angles, like all the facets involved in it. And I was just so fortunate, which is a great thing and a terrible thing because now I'm expecting that, in every project. And I don't know if I can leave that level of just dedication, commitment, and just passion. It was really true passion from everybody involved. So I was very lucky. So shout out to everybody.
I mean, just from seeing your energy, I'm sure that you'll inspire your next crew, some old, some new, to bring that same passion into your next film. And kind of like what you just said, we spend so much time in post, making everything perfect, and to be able to watch it in a nice theater is so great. I mean, and I'm so excited that we're having our festival at Cinepolis, which here in the Grove, I mean, that movie theater is brand new. Basically, they refurbished it completely like a year ago. So to watch the movies with amazing sound it's going to be sick.
We can't wait. We're super excited to be a part of it, and I guess it's official, so thank you.
Yeah, it is official. Juan Manuel, such a pleasure. And we will be in touch the next few weeks, and then I'll see you soon. So excited to meet in person.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. And really excited to be a part of this festival. And it's going to be a really just great way to start the new year. And hopefully it'll lead to, other successes for everyone involved all the way around.
Definitely. Merry Christmas, Juan Manuel. See you soon.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.